Alright, do you have sound? Hello, hello. Looks like I do. Okay, okay, let's fucking do it. Hello, hello, my lovelies. Oh no, let me try that one again. Hello, hello, my lovelies. How have you been? Hello, 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 hello. Oh man. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh man. Streaming again. Hello, hello. And oh, let me lower the game volume before I forget. There you go. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Is anyone around right now? Doesn't seem like it. um, let me give you a warning. Straight from gate. I'm still a little sick, so there will be some level of coughing. I am doing better than I was a few days ago, but still not fully recovered. That's why there was no stream on Friday. Because Breath of Fire cursed me horribly, and I got really, really sick. Hello, Tinas. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Uh, yeah, I got super sick. Like during the last Link to the Past stream, I was already pretty sick. But at the time, I thought it was rhinitis, but turns out no, I was actually afflicted with something, probably some kind of flu, not COVID, but because it wasn't that bad. But I was sneezing a lot, like uncontrollably for a few days, and and yeah, and after that I took some medicine. Spent basically like 2 days completely knocked out. I would get out of the bed. I would lie down, like I would fuck around the computer for a little bit, and then I feel so exhausted that I would have to go lie down again. And that was basically it for like a few days, for like both Wednesday and Thursday. I would get out of bed and then like, no, I can't do this, and immediately go back to bed. But then things got better. But I was still coughing a lot, and I lost my voice. It's still not 100%. Still a little bit rough, but good enough to do what needs to be done. Because today, my friends, my lovelies, is a special day. Oh yeah. Feels really weird that Twitch pushes you to show your subscribe streak in the chat. I don't think it's particularly weird. It's just for the streamer to give you a bit more of a shout out. If I had notifications, then like there would be a funny notification popping up for it. But I haven't really looked into that yet. I'm just afraid that adding notifications will slow down my computer even more than it already is when I stream. I don't know if that's justified, but it is the way it is. I just need a better computer, and then I can do whatever I want. But that doesn't seem like it's gonna be likely for a while. Uh, yeah. So yeah, we're here. We're gonna hopefully slay Breath of Fire 2 today. No, we definitely will. I will not end the stream unless I beat that fucking game. But before everything, let me switch scenes. Oh yeah, gotta get rid of the rat. No rats here today. You're not letting you leave until it's done. I'm committed to it. Today is the day. But before that, hey, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Can you look at that? Would you like to look at that? Let's look at that. let me just make sure. Yeah, okay. Neil Harpistari page. Oh boy, this one took me a long time, a pretty long time, because oh man, it's just as you see, it is background heavy. Doing the little drawings didn't take very long. I thought this one I had to do at least one time because I had the perspective completely wrong and I couldn't fix it, so I just erased the whole thing and redid it. But yeah, then I did the things and had to paint the backgrounds a lot, and it doesn't look the best, but it's the best that I can do. And yeah, there's some dialogue. Wow, the roads are packed. Festival's gonna be lively this year. Feeling okay, Yama-sama? Yeah, don't worry. Today will be fun, I'm sure. This is the commercial hub of Humani, which I decided is the name of the human country. And this is the city of Caravania, where all the caravans gather up to do business and whatnot. And this is where the festival is taking place. There's like some little horses and stuff over there. There's horse here too. I thought about maybe drawing like one of the horses like a centaur girl, but then I like then I was like, you know what? I don't want to draw more centaurs. I already drew some for the Suki art for the episode, and then I like don't wanna don't want. There's probably no centaurs living in the human country because monsters that are humanoid are pretty rare. Like Sue, they're very much deception. If there are centaurs, there's maybe like one or two. So yeah, we did it. I tried to draw a lot of small houses. And yeah, like I don't like how barren the rest of here looks, but I mean, I'm not fucking Kentaro Miura. I'm not gonna fucking. I know my limits, so you're just gonna have to stick with it. Uh, Towns that made up entirely of caravans and readable. That's how I imagine it started up in the far past, before this became the human country, like when people were still settling, and then it just became a big old town over time. But that's lore. And yeah, as always, if you wanna help support me, you can go to patreon.com/harpystory and give me money. The new page is there too. I ended up posting this one alongside posting it in the website because it took so long that I figured I need to keep the website updated as well. But the next one probably won't take as long. And then I'm gonna post it here first. There's also a character card here that you can look over there. That one is still exclusive to Patreon. There will be definitely more to come. And yeah, go check out Harpy Story. Yeah, we can get rid of this now. And why do I have, what's this? Oh, this is like Mega Mari. I don't need that showing up. Taking resources. And yeah, also Freaks of Narrative. There's probably gonna be a new episode of Monster Girl Mondays coming out later today. Yeah, that one we have a special guest. It's my friend Petra Car. Check her out on Twitch, twitch.tv/PetraCarVT, I believe. Or is it just Petracar? It, it's Petracar. Look her up. And yeah, she joined us to talk about some mimics and imps, and it's they sure were some girls. Sure was a selection. Kenko Cross really really decided to do some decisions with those, but we got there in the end. I think we ended with a pretty sweet one. And the episode was a lot of fun to record, so yeah, I look forward to that. Probably maybe a brain worm coming out in the near future. Amy has been editing it, but she's also been working on her secret project. Ooh. So who knows when that's coming out? Probably soon, I guess. Better. And there's also soon another podcast coming out, a book podcast. A book cast. I don't know why it made it sound spooky, but yeah, that's coming out with Yakuman and Chroma, and they're gonna talk about some books, like well, book individual, one book per episode. I forgot which book they're reading. I think it's No Longer Human. So yeah, look forward to that at some point. Chroma's editing that one. No idea how far along that's been going, but yeah, look forward to it soon. But today, the Junjito version. What Junjito version? Is there a Junjito version of No Longer Human? Because that's probably not what they read. But yeah, today, the time has finally come, my friends. After 20 streams, it's the moment of truth. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. We can no longer delay it. Oh yeah, I got a bit confused because it shows the link to the past thing first, but it should be this one. Alright, where's the game? Come on, please show up. Game. Please, there you go. For the last time ever, Breath of Fire 2. The end has come. That intro music's still really good. Like the soundtrack struggles, but it has some good songs. Alright, level 42, very low levels in this one, huh? You don't see that very often. I believe Final Fantasy V is the only other game I can think of where you end up at around level 40 something. But yeah, let's go. So last time we beat Barbaroi, who is apparently considered to be the hardest boss in the game. For some reason, the wiki says that he's an optional super boss, even though I don't think you can really skip him. At least not to the best of my knowledge. That's just me messing around. Ito and Usamaru Furuya both have manga adaptations of the original novel, which I assume they're reading. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know much of anything about the original novel, but, well, that's what I'm gonna find out in the podcast. Yeah, so with the Fear Barbaroi, and I feel there's a few things we gotta address. I mean, first of all, hi Janie, welcome. All right, let's finish this. Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, over here, yeah, like in order to get to the secret treasure, you have to use Lynn's field ability. But the thing is, in her fused form, she cannot do it. She cannot break stuff, which is pretty dumb. She can only do it in her normal form. And then you also need Stan, also not in his fused form, to reach through a gap, and then you can get to the treasure. I'm obviously not going to do that because I don't feel like going through the entire dungeon all over again in order to, fuse Lynn again and then walk all the way back here. So no, because like I could defuse her with her diffuse orb, which I believe we still have somewhere. Yeah, we have this, which cancels fusion, so I could get it. But then I would have to exit the dungeon, refuse her, and come all the way back, which obviously not gonna fucking do, because that would take way too long. And like Lynn is too important to keep fused. The other two, if they lose their fusion against the final boss, that's not a huge deal. But Lynn is important because she's gonna be our main source of damage. Now another thing. So Barbaroi was very hard, right? And part of it is because I just was very ill equipped with like items in order to fight him. Speaking of, I should probably put the yeah. What's this? Yeah, okay. Uh, Let me, I guess, equip the Romero brace or something. Yeah, I wanna give this to you. The Hell brace, yeah. And the Skull brace, I wanna give it to Nina. Although I'm not sure which one. Okay, this one's doing nothing, so I'll give the Skull brace to you because apparently this thing increases her crit chance with magic. So it's kind of wasted on Ryu. And I guess you can have like these. I don't know if it's gonna. Keep the love brace. There you go. I love you, Ryu. And yeah, I only won because I had a ginseng item, which I got only one from, only one of at the very beginning of the game, and I kept it all the way to this point. That's the only reason I won. So think about it. This game relies a lot on you keeping all of your best items to the end game. Kinda. The thing about it, I guess I can keep moving. I don't know if there's a healing pond here. I guess I'm gonna go back and heal. Hopefully Barbaroi is not gonna respawn or some shit. You'll play games like these without hoarding all the stuff. I mean, I don't think too hard, but like this game is kind of hard and it gives you very little stuff. So like yeah, the best idea would be to hoard stuff, but at the same time it gives you so little that it just makes it kind of hard. But the reason for that is because remember at the very beginning of the game, right after we beat the wild monster, we have to choose a carpenter for our town, and and oh, I don't want to fight these guys. And depending on what carpenter you choose, you get a different functionality to your town. The one we got, the one that builds tree houses, that one, he, like, as you saw, he, like, builds the little mini game of Othello, and you can use your tokens to try and get better items, but the items are not that good, so that kind of it ends up kind of not being that worth it. Cause like yeah, they're good for the mid game, but they get greatly outclassed in the end game. We're not using any of those items anymore. I'm pretty sure. I think Lin can kill the Magic Master. Yeah, at least we get a little bit of experience. There we go. And yeah, it turns out to be not that useful. One of the carpenters will open a bar, and all it does is it lets you see some game stats, like how many battles you did, and like how much damage dealt, stuff like that. Okay, this should be easy, and that's also not useful, obviously. And the third carpenter, that one is the one you absolutely want because he unlocks a cooking mechanic where you can combine items, and that is the only way that you can get some of the strongest items in the game, without a limited supply. Like, for example, wisdom fruits, that is something you can only really get reliably from the cooking. And there's a plethora of other great items that you can only get through cooking. And like including items that I believe you cannot get anywhere else. So yeah, like turns out that is kind of a huge deal considering how otherwise there's no way to get multiples of those good items. And it's a bit of a trap because that carpenter is like so much better than all the other ones. It's almost like required. Like think about how much easier that fight would have been if it could have come with a whole supply of wisdom fruits. Could just eat them up, and there's also like items that give you buffs and stuff that you can cook from the carpenter. And no, and like yeah, it's kind of a problem. A kind of a pretty big problem, in fact. Because I got screwed because I didn't think the cooking. I kind of remembered that there was this cooking mechanic because that's the carpenter that H.C. Bailey chose in his let's play, and he took full advantage of it. But I didn't think it would be so important to the point where it's basically required to, like, if you don't have the cooking unlocked, you're gonna have a much harder time, as I did. And it kind of sucks. It's a big trap. Like, apparently the GBA version kind of remedies it a little bit by by letting you trade items with other players, but even then, it's like it's kind of a bad solution. You need to know someone who has this game for some stupid reason, and that is willing to give you like resources and shit. So like, not really reliable if you're playing solo. Oh, hi Akuman, welcome, 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 lots of little guys. It is the season for the little guys, after all. Okay. Oh, come on, really? I could just come over here. uh, well, it took a little bit of a trip. It's fine. I don't know how much dungeons still left. Hopefully not much. Oh, come on, this motherfucker. Yeah, just kill him. He's too fast. Oh. When I'm in the scary Wordle, the little guy army will be under my control. Oh no. No, don't take the little guys away. I. Okay. So long as you use them for good. that is to spread the words of the freaks to the world and far and wide, you can command the little guys. But only if you win, because the month's still not over. I can still win the world though. It's totally not cool. What the fuck, really? You're gonna put me in a giant empty room? Oh my gosh. This game is gonna be annoying to the very end. Ah, sure. Yeah, it's okay. Can use banish. All good. Background here is kind of interesting. It looks a little bit. It looks a little bit. Kind of gives you some. No, 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 not you. Gives some a little bit of fear and hunger vibes, kind of. Actually, let's use the vitamins. There you go. So yeah, basically don't pick any of the other carpenters, pick the cooking one, which you would have no way of knowing that, you know, this whole thing is a thing. And everyone take the magic master actually, in case banish fails or something. It's just another instance of this game being mean and pretty much requiring you to choose a guide for a lot of it. Well, it's fine. I mean, it would be a lot worse if back then when people didn't have internet and you actually had to buy a strategy guide. Okay, there's a place here. Okay, the music's gone. Okay, I think we got to the end. I think this is it. Oh boy, this stream is gonna be fun for my throat. It's fine. We'll wrap this up. Is one take long? Oh, there's our guy. Yeah. Nicanor. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was gonna change the formation. Yeah, I might be able to do it in battle. Hmm. Well then. No, you shouldn't expect that. We're pretty dumb. The name of the dad. Is this from something? Nicanor? I have no idea. Like from mythology or something. Oh damn, just fucking froze us. Well, that was pretty short, I guess. That's it. RIP. No, I can break free. It sure is. Yeah, let's do it. Oh. Well then, so do you get like personalized stuff for each of our party members? That's rare in this game. Oh. No! Don't kill our cuties. Don't erase the cuties from reality. No! Not best girl. No, not second best girl. How dare you? And this is like the first time the game actually is having a scene that's actually kind of cool and has a like communicates the intended effect at the very end of the game. Weirdly, well, okay, I guess I can kind of move. My friends, my cuties. All right, let's do it. Oh, look at this animation. Whoa, so cinematic. Look at this. Does it enter? Oh dang. Whoa. Drew blood. How violent. Apparently they were gonna lean a lot more into the scrolling backgrounds. Like I was reading the planning document for this game. That was something they wanted to explore a lot more, but it ended up not happening very much. The run cycle is a tad goofy. Whoa. Well, here we are. It's Deathevan. As our final boss. This has a lot of penises. One needs to note, and they all have little mouths. Very freaky. I like this design. Okay, so what I need to do for this first part is use infinity. Ow. Yeah, if you don't have infinity, I believe you cannot win this fight. Ooh. And Dark Slime would get along. Yeah, probably. Go beyond the infinity. That's what we're gonna do. Oh. Yeah, like our other friends are still back in town, huh? Yeah, we're here saving the world and they're just in their little rooms. It's kinda oh they's sleeping. You should just sleeping through all this. So we're doing Earthbound here, huh? Was this game before Earthbound or after Earthbound? Like, I completely forgot about this. There's a gray bird. How many important NPCs can you name from this game? Ones that are still alive. Uh, I guess Nina's family is still alive, and the Great Tree, I guess, is still alive. The clan. There was a clan master from the beginning. Hasn't really been relevant in a while. But yeah, we revive our friends with the power of infinity. And now I can fight for real. Thankfully, it does not undo my fusions. Death is but the beginning. Kill, 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 kill. Here we go. So, yeah, I won, I believe, Scatter for this guy. Because that allows Lean to deal more damage. So, this guy has 10,000 HP. Let's go. No, not Guts. You're kidding me. Well, it's gonna be 9,000 after you use Kaiser. I need to buff. I don't think this guy has any like physical attacks, so we should probably start out putting Might on Leon, because she's gonna be our powerhouse. And you're just gonna do magic, I guess, as usual. Yeah, use Valhalla. Okay. Oh. Okay, so that dispels magic. So here's the thing that makes Deathevan easier than than freaking Barbaroi. He has moves that just kind of waste his turn, unlike Barbaroi that had like, that was all ultra powerful multi-targeted attacks. He actually won just wipe our party out really in 2 turns. So that makes things a little bit easier. But probably still not gonna be easy, so let's not let's put our barrier up. Sadly cannot multi-target this. Put it on Leon, everyone else can probably survive. Did I not charge? Oh, I probably removed the charge because of the buff thing. Huh. That's a strange interaction. But I guess it works for me. I don't think that would count as a buff. Okay, that's gonna hurt a bit. But nothing you can't handle. Also, Deathevan's fast, which is kind of annoying. Okay, how much damage have we dealt, chat? Like, we want to keep Lean alive. That's our main priority. Yeah, you attack. You're gonna heal. Where's our healing? Rejuvenate. There you go. Yeah, heal Leon. I guess Nina can heal herself. Yeah. And everyone else will be fine. Yeah! 800 damage. Almost 900 even. Okay. But then he does this, which is annoying. Thankfully, they did not undo the fusions. Okay, now I can, I guess, heal everyone. I still have one moon drop if I need, if things get sufficiently dire. You can, I guess, use barrier on probably Nina, because this guy has some nasty attacks too. He's not all nasty attacks, but he has some. We're gonna be fine. I think you should still heal Lin a little bit more. Maybe not. No, heal Ryu, I guess. Ow. No, she ended. Ah, fuck. Okay, that's bad. Oh, there goes the bulk of her damage. Okay. It attacked this big, mighty, evil cock. Oh well. We dealt quite a bit of damage. Hopefully you can still hang in there. Let's put barrier on your set. No, Ryu's probably more. Actually, let's put Might on Ryu now that Lin's fusion got undone, sadly. Well, I guess heal yourself. We might die here, but we'll see. Oh, he's gonna do our buffs. Oh well. Yeah, now we're gonna deal a lot less damage, which sucks. But it's okay. We'll get through. Yeah, you better just keep doing what you can. Yeah, put Might on Leon, because otherwise she's not gonna be able to do much now that motherfucker undid her fusion. It's fine. Let's heal up Aspire a little. Just in case. Yeah, sadly, our damage is pretty fucked. That was like the worst person you could have attacked with that. And the buffs are gone again. Fuck. We're gonna do a little bit of cheap damage, I guess. It's fine. I'm not counting how much damage I'm doing, but we're hanging in there. I could use Blossom. That might be good. Also, I should have put Shield on. Oh well, too late now. Yeah, no, fuck it. I guess that's time for plan B. Oh no, you attack, and you cast Valhalla. Okay, yeah, if you attack Ryu, that's not too bad, especially because you can counter. So I'm not sure why Leon lost MP. I guess something he did might have drained it. Oh well. Alright, let's attack. You use Blossom. You heal up Ryu with a roast. I guess Leon's gonna be a little bit relegated to healing duty for a while. You should. Nah, it's fine. Let's keep going Valhalla. We need to pile up some damage because again, 10,000 HP. Oh, that's gonna suck. I might Moondrop after this. Nice. Yeah. Alright, go Aspara, get him. Fuck him up. Yeah, let's Moondrop. Yeah, let's Valhalla. Okay, yeah, that's gonna help a lot, huh? Aspara's gonna come in clutch. Provided they don't fucking die. Okay, they lose all the buffs, but it's fine. Better than for it to do something else. Alright, come on. Let's go. Yeah, not much else you can do, just keep attacking. Yeah, that wasn't as good. Soulless Laser. Okay, this is gonna hurt. Ow, ow, ow. It's fine. I think this means that he's almost dead. Not almost enough, I guess. Let's... Yeah, heal yourself. I think Nina might be able to survive a laser. Because she has more magic defense. Alright, go Aspire, get him. That wasn't good enough. Ow. Fuck off. Still have one roast, so should be fine. Oh, crits, huh? I think we still... Oh, yeah, we have these as well. Sure. Alright, fuck him up. Come on, we can do it. It sucks that he undid Lynn's fusion so early. But we'll be fine. Man. Not dying, huh? Yeah, we'll keep damaging. Nina's almost out of MP, which means she'll be useless after a bit. Alright, good. Ow, well, be useless now. Aspire at least. I guess you can revive them. Yeah, here you go. Last lightning, last Valhalla. This one might be close if we win this time at all. Ooh, this is gonna hurt. It's fine. Yeah, good thing it's not like spamming that. Yeah, I think... you're gonna be not very useful now, huh? Let's... I guess they have buffs. Yeah, buff Ryu. And you can use like a roast or something to heal Ryu further. And you, I guess, use a vitamin to heal... Yeah, heal Lean. Yeah, those two are just gonna be on healing duty for now, I guess. Oh. Okay, that hurts a bit, but it'll be fine. Far from the worst thing you can do. I get to see some of regular Aspire's animations, I guess. Didn't see a lot of that here. Let's put Might on Leon, I guess. Actually put Shield, because... Oh yeah, you're just kinda fucked now, huh? Heal yourself, I guess. No, wait, that was Leon. Never mind. You attack then. If Nina dies, she dies. But won't be the end of the word. Good crit. Oh yeah, you can cast Death, which is annoying. But sometimes it doesn't work, which is good for us. Good final battle music, by the way, has to be said. I think it encapsulates the fight pretty well. I'll take any good amount of good music this game can have, you know. Yeah, let's heal Aspire a little. Yeah, Nina, sadly you're gonna be our healer for now. If you don't die. Okay, then. Alright, good. Okay, we should be good, maybe. 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 Aspire, you're gonna heal everyone. Yeah, let's keep her. Yeah, let's keep Leon and Nina alive, I guess. Oh, Nina can keep herself alive. There you go. Nice. Yeah, we gotta be close to killing this motherfucker, right? There's no way. There's no way he's not almost dead, right? I know it's 10,000 health, but come on. And no, you just keep buffing, I guess. I don't think shield's gonna be really helpful. I don't. What do you do now? I guess Ice Blast. Yeah, you attack. You heal in. Oh, we did it! Yeah, we did it! We did it! One shot, first try, first go. Get fucked. We won! We did it! We defeated Deathevan! Once and for all! I have beaten Breath of Fire 2! Yeah! Oh man, it feels good! Ah, that was cool. That was a cool fight. It was a lot easier than Barbaroi, obviously. But it's cool that even though I got unlucky and he undid Lin's fusion very early on, like I could still hang in there and deal enough damage to fuck him up. And like I definitely feel that the choice to give him a lot of health and like a mix of attacks, like some that are pretty dangerous and some that are not as much, was a good idea. Because it made for a fight that was, that was very dynamic. It was very much about like adapting to all the things he does, and maybe it was a little bit of luck, but like no, he has such a mix of attacks that I feel you'd have to be very unlucky to to really get completely fucked. Like he would have to keep using his laser attack over and over. But yeah, we did it. It was good. Oh, hi, Kier. Welcome, welcome. And this probably really makes it look like it's a mongoose cock. It really does. It's kind of a Fear and Hunger design a little bit. I guess if it was Fear and Hunger, it would be a lot more evidently penile. I guess it does make it kind of disturbing for this evil god of death to have a lot of massive snake cocks. I mean, you're the one who's Nicanor now, because you're dead. You're dead, bitch. We did it. We defeated Christianity. Woo! Christianity is no more. Never need to go to church again. Man, good battle. Definitely a pretty cool way to end this game. Just good. I was expecting it to suck, you know. I was kind of because it is this game, obviously. So expecting it to be a really annoying fight, but like, turns out it was pretty cool. Here we have our cuties. They were with us all along. Now Taspara's back to their NB farm. NBs can still be cuties. And like the whole presentation of this last sequence was really good. Like, very cinematic, very cool. Like more of this, you know. I'm glad that it can at least end on a pretty high note, but like also kind of wish the whole game was like that. Like I said, I have a lot of things to talk about this game now that we're at the end. So I did try to look up some things about this game's production. Turns out there isn't a whole lot, as you would expect. It's very hard to find information on this game's production. At least as far as my skill set goes. Like maybe there's more stuff in Japanese, but obviously I don't speak Japanese. And apparently I found the design document. Apparently they had like much bigger plans to do like those dynamic battle transitions like you saw here, like you saw the harpies and with Turvo where like the screen scrolls and stuff. There's like this picture, like this mock-up of like a giant like scrolling up from the background, which I guess was maybe a little too ambitious for the Super Nintendo. Well, at least for, Capcom fucking around with the Super Nintendo. Maybe someone at Square could pull off something like that, but you know. Yeah, they had big ambitions, and I'm glad at least in the end some of it was satisfied. Let's walk back home. Ooh. Yeah, this is something I remember. Like whoever is last in your party gets an extra little scene. I think it's very fitting for it to be Nina. Like they all have different little things to say. But Nina is important for the series in general. Yeah, there you go, Breath of Fire 2. Or Breath of Fire 2, apparently. That's a weird font. Hey, there's Patty. There's her sister. Yeah, we never find out. Like it's never confirmed that she's Yua, but obviously she's Yua. I kind of wish they addressed that because, like, clearly she remembers her brother to some extent, but yeah, they never really address it. And Ryo doesn't seem to worry about like what happened to his long lost sister, but well, whoa, a little bit of cracklies. Oh, look at Bosch sitting down like that. Unique animation. Man, Bosch is like one of the best party members in this game. I kind of regret not using him. Like he would have been great instead of Spara. I thought, no regrets. I like the party they ended up with. And plus, Bosch requires like both of the final shamans for his fusion, which makes him not very viable to use with like Lin or Nina. And boy, oh boy, I would not have done this without Nina's fused form. Because Banish was so useful. Hmm. Yeah, credit to team. Uh, yeah. It matters that we did it together. He's so flustered. He's surrounded by those cuties. What about Nympho? Now he has to go back for Nympho. Now that the word's saved. Oh yeah, Nympho is an important NPC that's still alive. What's troubling you, man? Oh, that's good. You're sure about that? There's still like other games in the series. I don't know if they all take part in the same word. I know these in the first one do. I don't know about the other ones. Turn to the line of the word above. I will be right back. I need to get more water. Hang on a little. Poking my microphone. Sorry. Okay, back. Yeah, I kind of drank a lot of water because my throat's a little bit, fucked from the sickness. But yeah. So what's the deal, Ryu? Oh. Hmm. Well, I guess that's true. And there's always the chance that he could like leave a part of him behind because he was born from the remains of the evil goddess from the first game. So who knows? Gods work in weird ways. Is it okay to record a podcast tomorrow, Thursday? No need to push yourself. I think I should probably be fine. I guess we'll see after the stream. I'm trying not to push myself too much with this one, but I will probably be fine. Like, the worst of it has passed. Just still coughing a little. But it should be okay. By the way, is the new episode uploading? Like, what was the status report on that one? Okay, I guess we have to seal him off. I guess we have no choice. Yeah, after all that we've gone through. Yeah, you're a guy. You gotta stick with us. Whoa. Well, look at that. Is our girl Gigi Cups sweeping in to save the day, along with Dad. Hell yeah. Well, soon in the video editing stage at work. First hour was a little hard to get through. Okay, great, but it's still a little rough. Alright, well, take your time. No need to rush. Yeah, so if you won, talk to Gigi Cups and recruit her to your town, and two, did not kill Dad, you actually didn't listen to the Charybdis section? Huh. Well, fair enough. Yeah, if you did those two things, then you get the good ending, where Ryu does not need to sacrifice himself. Would I have figured this out on my own? Probably not the Gigi Cups part, because she's kinda hidden. But I did save Dad, so yeah. Alright. Let's go. Let's slam the fucking thing right in there. Whoa. Oh, Daisy is still just sleeping. You're just sleepy. Rand is going ape shit. Like, what the hell? And there you go. We crashed the mountain. I probably fucked up quite a bit of the environment around. It's probably dust every fucking where. And there you go. Aw, don't get to spend more time with Dad. I guess he did kinda. He was kinda tortured and drained for like many years, so. That is really dark to think about. Like, Gunner, he went through some pretty terrible things. But I hope that doesn't happen again. No spoilers. From what I read, Deathevan never appears again. Although he is mentioned, I guess, in some of the future games, but no, he doesn't come back. He's done for. We actually ended him for real. Oh man, so we gotta keep fighting. We don't get to like just chill for the rest of our days. Yeah. Hey, we have our good dog friend to greet us. Oh, good. There you go, we did it. Breath of Fire 2, for real now. Yeah, that was the good ending of the game. If you don't do all the requirements, if you either kill Dad or don't recruit Gigi Cups, then you get the bad ending where Ryu has to sacrifice himself. And you get some exclusive sprites for some of the people. And also, apparently every single NPC in this game is named. But like I guess they're like the names of some of the devs. There's Mina and her piggy. Aw, cute. Yeah, I got a little bit of. We get to see some of her friends. It's cool. I think this is like actual people. Well, some of them are people from the development staff, but a lot of it is just you know the NPCs from the game, which are it's going by way too fast to read, and the font choice does not help at all. Remember this guy? Remember the weird white guy that we rescued in Township and then doesn't do anything for the rest of the plot once the town gets rebuilt? That was weird. That was pretty weird. Hey, there's our girl. Love to see it. She's the best. She still lives on in my heart forever. So I guess we're watching the credits, huh? Yeah, this game. Your full name is Limpu Schwan, which is kind of funny. This game is weird, man. It's like first of all, I'm glad to have played it. Like, it's the kind of game that's like it's like a sexy Agnes. Okay, it's like ticking a box in a list of things to do that you never finished. So finishing this game feels like I accomplished something that was a long time, you know, a long time like postponed, I guess. And so we did it, and I done for as rough as the game was, I don't regret it at all. Look at this guy. Remember this guy? I remember this guy. Yeah, this like I don't regret playing this game at all. I enjoyed playing this game. I think it does a lot of things that are very interesting. I think a lot it has a lot to like. It has a lot of hey, it's our girl Nympho. Glad she gets a little bit of spotlight. It has a it has good moments, it has good ideas. It doesn't always execute them best, and sometimes it just kind of gets confused in a lot of the things it does. It certainly is a troublesome game. It's not perfect by any means. It is rough. It the story is all over the place a lot of times, and sometimes playing it is a bit miserable. Now, one of the soldiers called Pepe, and but overall, I think I had a positive experience with this game. And I think the best thing about it is analyzing what it does, because the reason I chose this game to play, one is because of the hot char piece, and two because it's such an interesting case study. There's a lot we could say about this game. There's a lot to look at. And I think this game deserves a fair shake, deserves a fair analysis. Like, video game analysis is not the best. Like, there's a lot of, like, analysis in general is not the best a lot of times. But specifically video games, for being such a new medium, there's not a lot of people that really look at games and like a sense of actually analyzing what they do. Like, most of the analysis of video games often comes from, was it fun? Did I like it? What are the things I liked? What are the things that I didn't like? And there's a lot less analysis that looks at what what the game is trying to do. Like, you see something like, for example, the Mass Effect 3 ending. That was a big controversy for a while, and a lot of the analysis of that is just, I didn't like it. And here's why I didn't like it. You don't see a lot of people think, okay, but what is it trying to say? Why is it like that? Does it work? Does it not work? Why does it not work beyond just the visceral feeling of, I didn't like it? And that's kind of a problem. And I feel with a game, like, you often get better analysis with games that are like very good. You know, like the games that are more popular, you often get like you often get like more brainy analysis of like games that are big, that let's say how it is, they're profitable for the algorithm. But I feel games like this also deserve to have a fair shot, because it does so many interesting things. Come on, Ranj and Tapeta were not there for this. There's so many 3+R video says they have to be good, you lost to say. Well, sometimes they are, but like a lot of times they're just kind of shallow. And when I look at a game like this, it really makes me think, like, why is this game the way it is? Like, what does it do that works? What doesn't work, and why is that the case? And like, going through it, I felt a lot of those dragon names. It made me think of a lot of things. Like, this is a game that was made at a time where I feel that, like, writing for games was not as confident as it is today. Where there was a lot of like this expectation that this is a thing for kids. It's not really much of a medium for storytelling necessarily. And I feel that that's why a lot of games at this time had this strange middle act that's kind of comedic in a strange way that doesn't really work and takes away a lot from the story. Even a game like Final Fantasy VI that is pushing storytelling in video games, like, even that one is guilty from having kind of a weird middle act. So, like, nowadays you have something like fucking Clair Obscura or whatever, Clair Obscure, which is like, yeah, it can just be a dark game with like a serious story. But this was a time where there wasn't as much confidence in that. And you have some games that are just straight up trying to be silly and fun. And then that's kind of what the first Breath of Fire game was. It was just a fun little adventure. What a strange shot to end on. I guess it's all about home. Yeah, like it's just like Breath of Fire 1 is just a fun little adventure where you fight some evil empire. But then you have a game like this that's trying to push it more and like actually tell a darker story. Like like, I still maintain that the way this game starts is one of the best intros to a video game ever. Like the way that the whole thing plays out with this evil god talking to you in your mind, and you barely get to see like your daily life before it's all taken away from you, and like you have no idea what's happening, and you're just cast away into like this dangerous life, and you get your ass kicked by a giant demon, and Ryu, like it said that Ryu's like plagued for the remaining years of like nightmares of demons torturing him and whatnot. Like it's so effective, and a lot of what of the darker things that this game is trying to do are also kind of effective. Like I feel that it has a it has an interesting, like the way it approaches religion is interesting. Like again, you didn't see many games go for the evil religion thing back then. It's a lot more of a trope now. And but yeah, this game actually is like one of the first to really lean into, as far as RPGs go at any rate, to really lean into the whole like this is a very like organized religion, not just like some evil cult of like some god, like some obscure god, but like an act like the biggest religion of this world, which preaches compassion and peace, but is secretly very corrupt and manipulating people and sacrificing people. And like I think it gets this point across pretty well in that end. Does it do much with it? Does it say much with it? In the end, I guess it just ends up with a bit of a, like don't blindly follow religion kind of message, and it does like it doesn't like make any like big huge statements. At the end of the day, still you're just fighting an evil god at the end, but like it does it pretty effectively, and I think that's interesting to see. Like, and like once we like a lot of people consider that when you get to a rise, when the game story gets really good. I don't think this game story ever gets really good, but it's definitely when the pieces start clicking. And I don't mind the structure of the story in a way. Like I don't think the whole story needed to be, about like fighting Lord Ava. I like the way it slowly builds up to you finding out about Lord Ava, because like it's very effective in how it kind of creates an adventure. It makes an adventure out of it. Like you are like you start like the first act, because this game has a very clear like 3-act structure, right? Which kind of matches the 3 map themes that you get, kind of. But yeah, the first act, you like trying to survive in this world, and then Bosch gets framed for stealing from Trout, and then you have to clear his name by finding Patty. And the function of that is to slowly introduce you to the machinations of Large Ava, because from the public view, it is just a good religion that preaches peace, that preaches good values. But you only start to see the subterfuge of it all, like as you slowly like travel this world and Like you start to see little hints of the darker shadow that it has. And while you're going through it, you are recruiting new party members. You're gathering your crew to really, ultimately bring the fight to them. And the way that it does that introduces characters also feels pretty natural. Like, you're looking for like a mysterious girl that stole a thing and framed Bosch. That naturally leads you into finding Lynn and Nina, because there are uncommon girls. Lynn for being a catch girl, like I think it's stated that her species is very uncommon in this world. And yeah, we only see her and Taiga from their species, so she's kind of an oddity. And then there's Nina, who has the Black Wings. So they're not the people we're looking for, but because we help them, they ended up joining us. And then we meet Stan. He kind of forces himself into the party, but the game is at least aware of that and gives him an extended quest line later on, which is very welcome. Then there's Rand, who's kind of there. Like, both Rand and Tapeta just feel like they're kind of there. At least, Tapeta has like this big quest line that's kind of silly and goes on for too long. And after that, he's just not relevant again. Sometimes I just kind of forgot he was in the game at all. Even Rand is more of a character than him. But like, you're gathering your crew and learning more about the things that are going on behind the scenes with Lord Ava. And then you get the news that Gate is falling. That's the environment around is like getting corrupted. It's getting sapped from life, and you need to figure out what's happening, because even though you had to leave it, it's still your home. So that's the second act, is basically finding out what's happening. But the problem with that is that the second act just kind of sucks, and I think I understand the reason for it, because, like I said, this is a time where games were, a fun toy for children. Not quite. Like, this game was obviously not made with the mindset for that. It's obviously trying to tell more of a story, but still, there's a little bit of the mindset that it's a time waster. Games couldn't, they couldn't have that much content, so they had to squeeze as many hours of gameplay as possible, because even to this day, game value still is somewhat tied to length, which is not the best thing. And I feel from that mindset, there's also the mindset of more gameplay equals more fun. And so you get a lot of dungeons in this mid game. They're just kind of filler. They're just somewhat how that should AAA game devs. Yeah, I mean, I meant it more the mentality of the gamers. Like, there nowadays there's more people who are willing to just accept a tiny, like, bite-sized experience, but there's still a lot of people who will complain if a game is not such and such hours long. But yeah, like, there's a lot of dungeons that are just kind of there, like the Uparupa cave. There's the whole sequence of like the queen's body, and then you have to climb a mountain, and all that very much is filler, and I think it comes from this mentality that more gameplay equals more fun. So it's like, well, if it's too much story, if it's too much dialogue and people talking, it's gonna be boring. So here's a random dungeon for you to go through. And well, we can make dungeons that are too big, so the combat, like the encounter rate's just really high, and that just kind of pads the playtime. And I think that's kind of the biggest problem with this middle act. Like, sure, there's the silliness of the story, which is pretty grating. Like, again, it takes too long for this game to really return to like its darker moments. But like those problems walk hand in hand. It's like they just didn't know how to expand the story in a satisfying way. So they just added a lot of silly plot points and random dungeons. And yeah, that padded the game quite a bit. And it kinda sucks. Because you're not really progressing through the story very much. Like again, at one point you're like once the actual starts, your goal is to find the Spara. And you have to go like through so many dungeons just to be able to like do the whole Aspara quest where you get them and then you have to like get the pillow for the grade 3. In order to get the pillow you have to go to Highland to get the mystical flute, and then you have a whole sequence there, and you get the flute, you can talk to the people in Melodia, you do this whole sequence in Melodia to get the pillow, and then you can talk to the Great Tree, and don't even learn anything useful from the Great Tree, which is kind of the dumb thing. The Great Tree is just like, oh yeah, like my memory got too fucked, I can't really help you, but go south, you might find some people who help you. It's like, and the only reason we couldn't go south is because you had to do this whole sequence. Because otherwise you could just go to the weather tower and do the whole thing. Like, but the NPC will not let you go in there until the Great Tree tells you to go south. And again, the weather tower is another dungeon that feels very fillery. There's just a guy in the way saying, "Hey, there's a weather tower somewhere that's creating a lot of fog. Go look for it," and then you do, and yeah, like there's no real reason. So yeah, I think that most of most of the problem in this game comes from this mentality of we have a cool story that we want to tell, but also it has to be a certain length. We do not know how to expand the story in a meaningful way, which I guess is probably it's probably from inexperience. I've said this before. I think the main problem this game's writing is from inexperience. I actually did look up who the writer of this game is. He doesn't have like a Wikipedia article or anything, but he's like a Capcom guy. He apparently still working on Capcom. Apparently he was the I believe like I don't remember if it's director or producer. He was a big name on Street Fighter 6. So he's still doing stuff, but at the time he didn't didn't have much experience. Lead writer for the newest pachinko game. You're thinking of Konami. This is Capcom. and and yeah, like the first Breath of Fire game was written by someone else too, and the soundtrack was also done by other people. So like this game was basically just like a not a full new team, but like they were trying to like let new people into the series and see what they could do, I guess. And yeah, like it very much shows this an experience of being unable to extend the story in a meaningful way. And it's kind of hard to fault them because yeah, it's hard to take a story that is already like pretty contained in a way and then like drag it and extend it. And again, there was a huge push for games to have like great impressive stories until like probably Final Fantasy VII, not even Final Fantasy VI. I guess it started with Final Fantasy VI because that was the tail end of the Super Nintendo. But really, Final Fantasy VII is the game that came and just said, "Look, RPGs are about the story. Fuck you." And yeah, and even then, I don't think the story of that game is that good, but and you ever played the other Breath of Fires? Absolutely. I absolutely want to play the other ones. Not right now. I don't know what I'm gonna play next. I'll probably have a random stream on Friday, like probably play Donkey Kong or something. But I haven't. I'll figure out what I want to play later in the week, I guess. And but I definitely want to play the other ones. I don't know if after this I'm gonna go for three or if I'm gonna go back and finish one. Cause one again, I kinda wanna finish one. Just to also tick the box of like, yeah, I finished. You know, just mark this game as finished in my head. There's another game that I couldn't get very far because of shenanigans, and yeah, like I would like to finish that one, but again, it is a very standard fantasy story. There's not a whole lot to say. I think in general the gameplay is also like more the same I always saw here. It doesn't have like the city building mechanic. I don't think it has fishing, which I barely used. But like the main battle like situation, I think is roughly the same as it is in this game. Like it has fusions, but it's a different system. It's not the shaman stuff, and only some characters can fuse. But I would definitely like to play it at some point. I would be interested to playing 3, 4, and 5. Obviously 6 is unplayable now because it was a shitty mobile game. Apparently 3 and 4 are both very good. I don't know much about 5. I haven't really looked up about that one. Apparently 3 goes back to being a bit more lighthearted, not taking itself too serious. And then 4 actually has a more serious story again. But like apparently it's like good. So I definitely am interested in checking those out. I will we'll see what I do about them in the future, but yeah, they're definitely on my list. I wanna keep exploring the series because it's just cool. People don't talk enough about the series. Like again, there's so many cool things about this. Like this whole story feels like a fantasy story. It doesn't feel like other RPGs at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like it has a whole fantasy world. It has like a pantheon of gods. Like again, you see like the evil goddess from the last game basically birthed Deathevan into the world after she was defeated, and like like the dragon god who's very like widely worshipped in the previous game is all but forgotten in this one. So yeah, like it's cool to see how there's like all these different faiths and whatnot. Like it adds a lot to the word, to the cultures, and you don't see that a lot in other games. Like usually there's just like the good, usually a goddess, and then like an evil god, or there's just no mention of like gods at all, and that's fine. But like it's cool to see something that's a bit more like a classic fantasy story. Like there's also all the different races. Like again, I mentioned this before. Like there's no human characters in this game or in the previous one. Like no playable humans. At least there are human NPCs, but like the closest we get to a human is Ryu in this game, who is half dragon, half human. Like the Ryu from the previous game, I think it's just full dragon. So yeah, like it's cool how there's like a lot of fantasy races, and there's even a little bit of hints of like like there are regions where they live, but sometimes you see in a few towns like different races mingling, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. That's something I wish the game did more to make the game feel alive. But again, like it like it's maybe a bit much to expect a game of its time to put so much focus on the little details and the word building and thinking deeply about like the cultures and connections. Like the fact that this game does what it does is already pretty cool, and I think it deserves praise for that. I think it's a very unique specimen in a way. Like nowadays, there's probably more stuff like it, but like for as far as like classic RPGs go, like, it's a very unique game, and that's why I wanted to play it. I wanted to highlight this game through the bad and the good. And yeah, like I think that I think that the story like eventually kinda works. Like it has good ideas, it executes some of it well, but it just suffers from this mentality of being a video game, being a time waster for children. I also feel the dungeon design could have been a lot better. That's a lot less excusable because a lot of the dungeons are just kind of long and boring and filled with random encounters and just kind of look ugly. It's not a looker, this game, and it really isn't. That's one thing I think we can all agree on. Like, and I mean, like the battle scene, like this kind of isometric perspective is cool. Like for like the overworld, it's functional, but like the interiors specifically feel very devoid of life. It's like maybe unfair, but look at Chrono Trigger and how lively those environments are. I mean, again, Chrono Trigger is the cream of the crop, but like this game could have done a little bit more to make the environments more lively. The especially the dungeons. The dungeons are just so dreary. Like, and then they kind of lose out on atmosphere by being so boring. But yeah, like that's one thing that I would put against this game. And there's also the whole thing of how much gameplay is hidden behind secrets and not like yeah, and it's not great. Like it's still not over the dragon transformations being a secret that you gotta find. Like it's kind of dumb, but yeah, like I think that I think on the subject of the gameplay, the game being so hard is like this is something I pointed out at the very beginning, but the game being so hard feels intentional to a level like you know there's an intentionality of trying to make the world feel more threatening through the gameplay, which works really well to some extent. I think in the end game they definitely get way too carried away, especially as your battle options get a little bit limited. Battles kind of become doing the same thing over and over again. There is a whole lot of variations for what the enemies do. And a lot of the ones that do have variations are just very annoying. But like the difficulty does add a lot to the game. There's something that I would tweak, but it would not change. I don't think this game needs to be easier because, like, at least for most of the game, the lesson you need to learn when facing this game is that you always need to be prepared. Like, if you are prepared, if you're keeping up your levels, if you are gearing yourself up, if you are carrying a good amount of supplies and money management early on is very important, which is another cool thing. Like, and you gotta like always make sure that you're well geared, well supplied, within your budget, and if you do that, you're always gonna like you might have some difficulty, but you're generally gonna be fine. Like the well monster is like the one exception, where it's like, no, this is a place where you pretty much have to grind, you know. But other than that, like it creates this feeling of every time you leave a town is like an expedition. You know, it's like kind of how again it would be in a fantasy story. Characters would buy supplies, gear up, and then leave to go do what they need to do, and that's cool. And it sets you in a very satisfying gameplay loop where it's like you feel like you're getting away by this, you know, just the but you know, like the what was it saying, like the skin of your teeth, something like that. You know, you're just barely making it against some of these enemies, but because you geared up, because you're prepared, you you can like overcome all the challenges, and that's really cool. And yeah, like unfortunately, after a while, that stops being the case because shops stop selling stuff that's all that useful, and yeah, like money just kind of starts becoming not very useful at all because like yeah, there's still equipment to buy, and you do need a lot of money to buy equipment, but you start also finding a lot more useful equipment in dungeons and whatnot. And as far as consumables go, at some point, they, like very early on, they plateau, and you don't get anything more useful. So you're just kind of it feels a lot less that you're preparing yourself, and more that you just have to kind of throw yourself at the enemies and hope for the best. Like the chapel dungeon is by far the worst offender because there's really nothing you can do to make the dungeon go more smoothly. All the enemies there have way too much defense, both magic and physical, and they're just gonna steal all your MP. Again, I guess the only thing you can do is if you have the cooking, you can gear up on wisdom fruits. But other than that, if you don't have the cooking, you're fucked. But I really, really like how at least for a while the game handles the gameplay. Like it always creates this feeling of like this is a hard game, but it feels satisfying to succeed in it because it justifies the choices you made. Like because you have been playing it diligently and gearing up, like you are actually like making it through. And so that's cool. Again, sadly, it kind of stops at some point. Like the final dungeon really is just too unfair. Like with how banish, it would have been a fucking nightmare. The encounter rate's way too high. The design sucks, and yeah, like the enemies are very annoying. Like there's not much you can do to make the experience better. But still, you know, it was pretty satisfying to eventually get to Deathevan and fucking kill him in one shot. Because my party is good, you know, because I did, you know, like, I got them to a certain level and I was keeping on their gear and strategizing and using their strengths to adapt to the battle. Like the final battle was actually really good. I have to stress that. Like the the battle against Deathevan, like they really knock it out of the park because like it is all about adapting. Like you know, Lynn lost her fusion very early on. That sucks. But the flip side is that because she's so fast, now she can have take more of a healing duty because they didn't have like one of the best healers like Rand or Bosch. But now Lynn can do some healing and help out with that, and so can Nina once she runs out of her like MP. You know, she'd started like healing more and stuff, and like Aspara, who I planned to be here, the one doing most of the healing, ended up dealing a lot of damage, and it's cool. Like it's cool how it made me adapt a lot, and it felt like hey, yeah, like it was a pretty solid party composition at the end. And yeah, I do think that this game does like for the most part it handles the difficulty pretty well. The only time I was really frustrated was the chapel dungeon. And yeah, for as hard as this game is, I had a lot of fun. I cannot deny that I had a lot of fun. When it comes to just did I enjoy this game or not? Yeah, I did. The story might be nonsense from time to time, and sometimes it might kick you in the nuts unapologetically, but there's enough good here that I think we need to recognize it. And like it's also interesting to see what it does wrong in order to really appreciate how video games and storytelling in video games has evolved. And again, this is a pretty influential game, I think, to some extent. I mean, like nowadays, there's a lot of games about like evil religions in RPGs. So like in like a lot of things they did, like again having the field interactions and all, like it has ideas that I feel that at least a few other devs at the time played this game and thought I can work with this, I can steal this idea and make it cooler. And yeah, I'm glad for it. I think this was good. This was a good experience. Maybe not the best game. I think I stand by it that it's ultimately kind of a 6 out of 10. Like I'm feeling good right now after this final battle and the ending and everything. Like I almost want to bump it to a 7, but I think 6 is pretty fair. Like it's not great. Like for all of for as much as I enjoy it, still has some very rough aspects. But I think that ultimately it's a game that deserves some amount of recognition. And yeah, I'm glad I played it. I'm very glad that I played it. And yeah, like again, it has some very cute characters. Yeah, and if for anything, like remember this game at least for the cuties, because the cuties are very cutie. And yeah, I think that's about most of what I had to say about this game. I feel I'm gonna stop the stream and immediately think back to, oh, why didn't I talk about this thing, this thought that I had regarding this game? I just forgot. But I can always remember it and talk about in future streams, I guess. And yeah, it's cool. I cannot do anything in the screen right now. Can't even like move the camera or anything. No. I'm just stuck here in the dragon tier hell. Yeah. Wow. Going for almost 2 hours. Very few of it, which was like the actual final battle, I think. Uh, yeah. Sorry if I rambled a bit too much, but again, I have very many thoughts about this game. I like this game. I think it deserves a fair shot. And I hope I gave it a fair shot. And I hope everyone enjoyed it too, to some extent, to watch me suffer through it. And now it's done. It's done. I'm never going to play Breath of Fire 2 again for the rest of my life. uh, oh boy. Next time, again, not really sure. Maybe I'll finish Donkey Kong Country 2. Maybe I'll play something else. And this is the best part. Oh, glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I like part of why I set out to do these streams of old games like this is to like impromptu analyze them. Because every time I try to do analysis and like script them, and like I just get bored of it. So I just kind of want to go off and talk about stuff, and I think the streams are a cool way of doing it. So yeah, 40 minutes of really good analysis and rambling. Enjoy watching this game, but I'll never play it now. Thank you, glad you enjoyed it, and yeah, I played it for y'all, so that I don't want to make a nostalgia critic reference. So I'm not gonna. Next time, uh, yeah, not sure what I'm gonna play. Not sure what game I'm gonna play after. Like what my next long-term project's gonna be. Probably gonna be another RPG. Probably in the either the SNES or the PS1. I'll try to narrow it down to a few options and then like put it for a vote maybe on the server or something. And yeah, like I going forward, what I think I want to do, unless I'm having like mad fun with a game, like something like Deltarune, where I just want to keep playing every day. Like if it's a game like this, I'm gonna pace myself better. I'm gonna do like maybe 4 or 5 streams of the game and then like have a little chill stream in the middle. Maybe get the other freaks to do something silly like the randomizer last time, and or maybe just play some random game. But yeah, don't. I think part of why I got burned out so hard in this game is just playing nothing but Breath of Fire 2 every fucking week. So yeah, definitely want to pace myself better. And yeah, whatever I do, whatever destiny brings us, I hope you'll be there to check it out with me. This has been Alan Hurai, and thank you for joining me, everyone. Again, new Harpy Story page on harpystory.thecomicseries.com. Probably, there'll probably be like a lot of new Freaks of Narrative content coming out in the near future. So watch out for that. And Friday I'll be here again if I don't fucking explode. So until then, bye bye.